Hello there, a warm welcome to you all. Thank you for tuning in to Smart24 TV, and this is the Financial Markets, your day-to-day show that gives you direct insight on the performance of various financial instruments on the market. It's me, Nampija Gloria, together with
Victor Chiruri.
All right, so diving straight up into the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, Victor, what do you have for us as per this week?
Well, it's always a pleasure to discuss what goes on in the world of financial markets. And boy, do we have an exciting update on Johannesburg Securities Exchange. Actually, it has been a pivotal player in South Africa's financial landscape, and this has been going on for years. And as we look at the recent developments, the Johannesburg Securities Exchange continues to evolve and expand its offerings. And in 2003, they actually introduced the alternative exchange. So it is also known as the ALTX, or you can just call it the Growth Board. And this platform was created to accommodate with 100% share price appreciation, and that is quite impressive. But on the flip side, we are looking at Matengu mining that saw a significant price depreciation of 29.08%.
And that's actually 100% gain, which is actually a big deal. It might be driven by factors actually like strong financial performance, favorable news, or even significant investments. But on the other hand, a drop like one coming from Matengu mining could be due to challenges in the industry, or maybe specific company issues.
You're right, actually. And these movements reflect the dynamic nature of the stock market. But it's always about supply and demand, so investor sentiment and company performance also come in afterwards.
Absolutely, Victor. And let's not forget about the all-share index, the JSE J203, which many investors actually use as the barometer for all the overall market. So it actually dipped by 0.68% in this session, but looking at the greater picture, it's lost around 1.06% in the past week and over 4.05% over the last month.
That's a significant drop over the past month, and it might be due to a combination of global and local economic economic factors, and we are looking also at investor sentiment. But like we often say, the stock market is all about the long game. So it's not just about a 1 day or 1 month thing.
Exactly, Victor. And those long-term investors who have a well thought out strategy and actually maintain a diverse portfolio tend to ride out these short-term fluctuations more effectively.
Actually, Gloria, speaking of diversification, it is essential to note that the diversifying your portfolio can be such a great strategy to manage your risk. So different indices can show different trends, and you may have losses in one sector while gaining in another, and that balance it can be very, very beneficial.
You're actually on spot, Victor. A diverse portfolio can help mitigate risks, and it's not all about finding the right mix that aligns with your investment goals and risk tolerance.
Well, it is also important to emphasize that while these market movements are noteworthy, it's crucial to maintain a long-term perspective when it comes to investing. So the markets have their ups and downs, but historical data shows that they tend to rise over time. So it is a matter of strategy and calculating your moves.
Thank you, Victor, for that insight. Then looking at one of our top gainers as of yesterday trading session, what do you have for us, Victor?
We're looking at one gainer.
Yeah.
And looking at its performance, it was quite, it caught the eye of investors for sure. And we're looking at Visual International Holdings Limited, and it is a property development company based in the northern suburbs of Cape Town, South Africa. So their primary focus is actually on all aspects of property investment, of property development, and they take pride in their involvement in numerous successful residential, commercial, as well as retail projects.
Exactly. It's actually fascinating to see how companies like Visual play a role in the significant role shaping in the urban landscape. But the development is actually residential and also commercial. The retail space is actually not only impact its environmental, but also contributes to its economic growth.
That's very, very correct. And the Visual's team is a crucial asset. So they have a group of skilled and experienced professionals with more than 70 years of combined experience in various aspects of the property development sector.
Exactly, and a strong team with extensive experience is often a key ingredient to the success of a property project and development projects. So it requires a deep understanding of the real estate market, construction, and urban planning.
Indeed, indeed. And it is also noteworthy that Visual operates all over South Africa, and it actively seeks out land with development potential. So they are constantly on the lookout for new development projects and joint venture opportunities. So this dynamic approach keeps them at the forefront of property development.
Exactly, and staying agile and productive is essential in the real estate sector. So the ability to identify promising opportunity partnerships is what sets the companies like Visual apart from the rest.
Well, turning our attention to Visual's presence on the stock market, and Visual International Holdings is listed on the Johannesburg Securities Exchange under the ticker symbol VIS. So for those interested in investing in Visual, you can find it under the ticker symbol VIS, and it is worth noting that VIS is part of the property development sector, which is a vital component of the real estate industry.
Exactly, Victor, and exactly, and it also holds the 450th position in terms of market capitalization on the JSE. Its market capitalization is approximately to around 8.21 million rands, which accounts for around 0.0001% of the Johannesburg Stock Exchange equity market.
Well, market capitalization is an important indicator of company size and importance within that particular stock exchange. So even though Visual is not coming, it's not among the largest players, it is still a significant contributor to the Johannesburg Securities Exchange.
Indeed, and for its recent stock performance, Visual actually is currently trading at around 0.02 rands per share, and in its last trading session, we had around 0.02. That was its closing price per share, and this represents around a remarkable 100% over its previous closing price of 0.0.
100% gain is indeed notable, but it's important to consider the broader concept, the broader context, and Visual started the year at 0.03 rands per share and has experienced a 32.3% decrease in its share price over the year. So it's currently ranked as the 355th on the Johannesburg Securities Exchange in terms of year-to-date performance.
That's actually an insightful observation, Victor, and it also shows while we have these short-term fluctuations that are really significant, it's the long-term performance that actually matters.
Absolutely. And Gloria, investors should actually be aware of both short-term and long-term trends. So this also plays when you're considering stocks like VIS, because it's all about understanding the bigger picture.
Exactly. And in terms of trading activity, Victor, Visual International Holdings ranked 186th in terms of trading volume on the JSE over the past 3 months. I'm speaking of July 31st to October 27th, 2023.
It is also interesting to note that VIS has traded a total volume of 5.42 million shares during this period, and this happened in 52 deals with a total value of 82,360 rands, and on average it brought us to about 85,975 VIS shares. So these were all traded per se. There was even a high trading volume of 950,751 shares on October 24th.
Exactly, and the activity we see in the market actually reflects its engagement with various investors on this particular stock. When the trading volume is actually high, it often indicates a keen interest for this particular company.
And on that note, let's take a moment to look at the VIS's recent trading history over the past 10 trading days, and there have been some notable movements on the stock's price.
For instance, on October 27th, we had a trading volume of around 600,083,000, closing at around 0.02 rands per share. This marked an impressive 100% increase in its previous closing price.
However, as we have seen, stock prices can be quite volatile. So looking all the way to October 23rd of this year, VIS had a trading volume of 269,228 shares, closing at 0.01 rands per share, which was a 50% decrease from its previous session.
Interesting, Victor. So these stock market dynamics can actually change quite quickly. So the highlights are the importance of closely monitoring your investments, staying informed about every market trend out there.
It sure does. It actually does. And whether you're a seasoned investor or starting your journey, keeping an eye on these market movements remains very, very essential.
Exactly, Victor. And now looking up to one of our closers as of yesterday's trading session, Victor. What do you have for us? What do you think about it?
So particularly, we are looking at one of the losers from the Johannesburg Securities Exchange, and looking deeper into the data. We're looking at eMedia Holdings.
Exactly.
And eMedia Holdings is a media investment holding company incorporated in South Africa and listed on the JSE. So to start the exploration, and what do you have for us, like within eMedia?
Well, Victor, like you said, it's an investment holding company based in South Africa, and their primary focus is actually on media and entertainment businesses. So their diverse product portfolio actually composes of a wide range of products and services.
It's interesting actually to note how media companies they're becoming really diverse. And they're starting to play a crucial role in shaping our information landscape and consume.
Exactly.
So the media sector is not only influential, but it is also highly dynamic.
Highly dynamic, like you said, Victor. And the media sector is actually a dynamic industry that's actually constantly evolving. So companies like eMedia Holdings need to adapt to the changing consumer preferences, and those are various technological adventures.
Well, eMedia Holdings Limited is listed on the Johannesburg Securities Exchange under the ticker symbol EMH, and it's part of the media sector, which plays a significant role in the South African economy.
Indeed, Victor. And if you're looking to invest in eMedia, you could find it under the ticker symbol of EMH. As for now, it holds the 325th position in terms of market capitalization on the JSE, with around 222 million, and this is actually representing about 0.0014% of the Johannesburg Stock Exchange equity market.
Market capitalization is a crucial metric that reflects the company's size and importance within the stock's media. But delving right into eMedia's stock market performance, as of our recent data, the share price of eMedia Holdings stands at 3.5 share in the last trading session as of October 27, 2023. So EMH closed at 3.55 rands per share, and that was as per on the Johannesburg Securities Exchange.
Exactly, Victor. It's actually essential to note that this represents around 6.6% a decrease from its previous closing price of around 3.80 rands per share. So, however, when we look at the bigger picture, though, eMedia began the year with a share price of around 3.51 rands per share, and has gained around 1.14% in valuation since then.
Well, shareholders might find it interesting that over the past 4 weeks, EMH has actually accrued a 9% gain, and this makes it the 24th best performing stock on the Johannesburg Securities Exchange during this period.
24th is quite the charmer, Victor. And it's actually notable that the short-term performance, it actually suggests that eMedia has recently attracted investors' attention, but it's equally important to consider the long-term performance when evaluating a particular stock.
Indeed, and looking at the trading volumes, we're seeing a staggering 112,219 shares over this period, and this occurred in 28 deals, and the total value of these traded amounts is 367,198 rands, and on average it brought us to approximately 1,781 EMH shares that were traded per session.
It's actually interesting to see how these various trading activities reflect the investors' interest. So eMedia Holdings also experienced a peak trading volume of around 63,042 shares that were traded on August 24th.
Stock prices can actually also be really volatile, and it's crucial for investors to monitor these fluctuations as closely as possible. But where you're looking at these particular shares, it doesn't matter whether you are a seasoned investor or a beginner. You must keep informed about all these market movements. It remains really, really vital. But taking a closer look at the EMH's recent trading history to get a sense of the short-term dynamics.
Exactly, and wrapping up our discussion on a media holdings, we'd like to emphasize that investing in stocks involves risks and opportunities. So each is each, it's all in the basket, and it's actually essential to conduct further research before you actually get into anything. And you also have to understand the investment goals and consider your risk tolerance.
Indeed. But just for the wrap up, as per October 27th, 2023, there was a trading volume of 5,143 shares, and EMH closed at 3.55 as we stated. But we shouldn't ignore the 6.58% drop from its previous closing price. So short-term fluctuations are quite common in the stock market. And on October 25th, 2023, EMH experienced a significant increase with a 13.43% rise in its previous closing price.
Exactly. Thank you for those insights, Victor. We'll be going for a short break, and we'll be back with more information concerning Nigeria's stock exchange and also Ivory Coast's electricity bill. Stay with us and stay tuned to Smart24.
Smart24, driving business.
Luxury redefined at Seasan Hotel as you indulge in the splendor of elegant living fit for the royalty that you are. Step into comfort, pampering and blissful customer-centric service as you select from our range of comfy, exquisite living quarters furnished to meet with your royal preference. Surrounded by scenic beauty, our tropical setting allows you to escape the glamorous ordeal of city life. Our ambient green gardens will guide you to a place of revitalizing rest. The 3-star restaurant caters to your palate, serving your choice menu ranging from exotic cuisines to local delicacies. Our chefs will serve you full-course meals for a truly out-of-this-world culinary experience. Our fully stocked bar to whet your throat, from renowned global brand whisks, brandies, gins, beers and wines to our locally celebrated beverages, you will not lack for any brewage. It's an all-new experience in the East at Seasan Hotel. So visit today at plot 15 to 19 Spire Road, Ginger, or contact us on +256 751 719 960 and +256 785 354 614 for reservations. Seasan Hotels, luxury redefined.
Anachindesa speed. Mpayo ntya kumbaga ya mwenemu ngankozesa momope.
Iwe joyete bantu bawayo. Owayo tya oli ne sente.
Ndi mu mutwalo.
Mutwalo nga gutwelewo.
Mutwalo nga guvaawa.
Leta amoni. Go amakaliba kodi mutwalo guva kuziremeka.
Oba itano oba mukaaga awo wati wagati.
Zino diswike isatu.
Logo mutwalo gwendi.
Mulagirire.
Mukoni gasta ndala mukaaga itano.
Ndala mukaaga itano. Isatu.
Yo ash. Yes.
Merchant code.
Eta merchant code ya tamu ensanvu.
Sanvu.
Ensanvu emirundi esatu.
Nega wotamu esente doli kuwayo.
Guno mutwalo gwemba kodi.
Tamu piniyo totulimba.
Gogo mazo saso. Buji. Kyabazinga nebazizi.
Kisada kiri ne sente.
Kisada kiba musente.
Mone kisada kigaiga.
Mutwalo gutidu.
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cashback every week. It's free of charge. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
Smart24, driving business. Smart24, driving business.
Of financial instruments, the Nigeria Stock Exchange actually publishes several market indices to track the market movement of listed equities. So one of the most prominent is the All Share Index, which dates back to January of 1984 and serves as a benchmark for the overall market performance.
Exactly, and it's also worth noting that the All Share Index covers all listed equities on the exchange, regardless of their capitalization, making it a comprehensive indicator of the market movement. In addition to the All Share Index, we have the Nigerian 30 and 50 indices, the top 30 and top 50 indices, tracking the top 30 and 50 companies in terms of market capitalization and liquidity.
Well, absolutely, and these indices actually provide investors with insights into specific segments of the market, and they're actually critical tools for assessing the health of the Nigerian equity market. But delving right into the trading activity on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, and one of the most recent trading day, we saw a total of 214,146,034 shares in 5,325 deals that were traded with a market value of 5,488,454,226.26 Nigerian naira.
That's an impressive volume, Victor, and it's clear there's always a lot of activity on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, and it's actually an indication of the vibrancy in Nigerian market equities and indices.
Indeed, and it's
matters, right?
Indeed, yeah. We're actually we're looking at other significant indices like the top 50, and we also have the top 30, as well as we like looking at these sector-specific indices, especially to highlight the Nigerian Securities Exchange Oil and Gas Index, as well as the Insurance Index and the Banking Index. So all of these actually playing a really crucial role in assessing the market's performance.
Exactly, and these indices actually provide valuable information, and they also help investors to understand which sectors are actually driving the market and which companies are leading the way on the market.
Yeah, it's all about informed investment decisions.
Exactly.
And for instance, looking at the Nigerian Stock Exchange Oil and Gas Index, this one in particular showed a significant growth, gaining about 2.31% on the day, and the Nigerian Stock Exchange Banking Index that also made gains of 0.59%.
Exactly, Victor, and these are actually gains showing dynamics within these sectors, and our investors should actually watch out for this and look out for any signals in the various market trends.
Indeed, and in summary, with the Nigerian Stock Exchange, now known as the Nigerian Exchange Group, it is a vital part of the African financial landscape, and it is more than just a place for trading stocks. It's a reflection of the economic and financial growth of Nigeria as a country.
Exactly. Now, looking into one of our top gainers, this is actually JPO Gold and Ventures PLC. Victor, what do you have first from there?
Well, looking into JP Gold, we saw some really good performance. We saw a 10% increase in share price. We saw a 10% share price appreciation. But JP Gold and Ventures PLC was incorporated in 1994. So it is a Nigerian upstream service company engaged in the business of mining, oil and gas. And we're looking at maritime, dredging, transportation, and engineering, as well as construction services. But formerly called JPOL Oil and Maritime Services PLC, the change was occasioned by the marked emphasis on the company's mining business and the venturing into technology development, as it shifts from the largely oil and gas dependent business activities actually. And in 2005, JPOL experienced a major restructuring activity, culminating in the raising of the 1.3 billion naira through its IPO and an additional 20 billion naira through a public offer 2 years later.
Exactly, Victor. And what's particularly interesting in the name change actually, now JP Gold actually Ventures reflecting a significant shift in their company's focus, moving away from actually predominantly oil and gas dependent activities into a new territory. So they diversify their business operations into various sectors, including mining, oil and gas, transportation, engineering and construction services. It's clear they've set their sights on a more varied portfolio. So it's basically not just about diversification, it's about adaptation to evolving market trends. And this strategic shift towards mining and technology development aligns with the changing landscape and global demand.
Indeed, but shifting our attention to the numbers, the current share price of JPOL Gold and Ventures is at 1.08, and that is where it closed off at its last trading session, which was Friday, October 27th, 2023, and at 0.99 Nigerian naira per share on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. This, of course, led to recording of a 10% gain by its previous closing price of 0.90 Nigerian naira.
It's actually important to note, Victor, that JPO Gold and Ventures began the year with a share price of around 0.28 Nigerian naira per share, and since then they've actually witnessed an impressive gain of around 254% price appreciation, ranking them the 14th on the Nigeria Stock Exchange in terms of year-to-date performance. So it's actually a remarkable leap in the share price, Victor, and it actually showcases JPOL's capacity to generate returns from its shareholders.
Indeed, but we are also noticing that JPOL Gold and Ventures is the 12th most traded stock on the Nigerian Stock Exchange over the past 3 months, which is as of July 31st to October 27th. So JPOL Gold has traded a total volume of 717 million shares in 5,797 deals, valued at 678 million Nigerian naira over the period. This is bringing us to an average of around 11?
Yeah, 11.4 million shares.
Indeed.
And it's tough to consider that this is actually good and a boost for the stock itself. So it's actually a testament on JPOL's growing and appeal to various investors. They experienced a volume high of 43.7 million shares. This was on September 21st, and a low of 1.23 million shares, and this was on October 19th during this period. So if you're looking at how the stock market can actually be dynamic, these fluctuations are a reflection of the changing segment of various investors.
Indeed. But shifting our attention, Gloria, to one of the leader of the losing side on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, we're looking at Academy Press. This is actually a stock we haven't really discussed into depth, but today we are glad to discuss it. So Academy Press is actually listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, and it has been so since June 5th of 1965. It is actually quite a period. And Academy Press is traded on the Nigerian Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol Academy. And the International Securities Identification Number of Academy is NGA. Actually, it's NG Academy 008. And Academy Press is currently the 130th most valuable stock on the exchange, boasting a market capitalization of 1.31 billion Nigerian naira, which is about 0.035%.
francs, which is approximately around $97 million.
That's a substantial amount, Gloria, and it's actually heartening to see such a significant investment in improving access to electricity in Ivory Coast.
Exactly, and that's not all. Actually, we may not be familiar with what you may call the CFA francs. It's the currency used in several West African countries. Now, what's interesting is actually the offering, which will run till around November 13th.
Well, that's right. That's right. And we have a limited time frame for this offering. But it's also a unique opportunity for investors to be part of a project that could transform lives.
Exactly.
And you can be rest assured that when it comes to investing in a project, even in the world of crypto, you never ever expect a loss. The chances of a loss in this kind of area is very limited.
Exactly, and the potential impact here is actually immense. Access to electricity is crucial in an aspect of development, actually. And by investing in these various social bonds, individuals or institutions actually are contributing to a brighter future for the Ivory Coast.
But Gloria, let's delve into the details a bit more. These bonds have maturities ranging from 7 to 15 years.
Exactly.
And the interest rates are set between 7% and 7.5%.
Right, and in terms of bonds, actually, this makes them potentially attractive for investment and various types of investors. So the maturities offer flexibility, and the interest rates are quite competitive in today's market.
Absolutely, and it's clear that the Electricity for All fund is taking the necessary steps to make this offering appealing to a wide range of investors.
And Victor, we should also highlight here that the fund is not only just about providing an opportunity for these various investors, it's also about creating tangible change in the Ivory Coast.
That's a crucial point. And the social bonds are a means to an end, and the end is a greater access to electricity, which leads to improved living conditions, economic growth, and a brighter future for the people of Ivory Coast.
Yeah, and speaking of that, it's not easy to forget that investments in infrastructure like electricity grid can have a profound impact on the nation's development.
Absolutely. And access to electricity is it's actually a fundamental building block for many aspects of daily life, and it can enhance education and provide better healthcare, as well as drive economic activities and create jobs.
Exactly. So Victor, what you're saying is that the benefits of this initiative to go far beyond the financial returns for investors.
Precisely. While investors can expect competitive returns, they can also take pride in knowing that their investment is contributing to a positive change.
So in simple terms, it's actually a win-win situation.
Indeed.
Where these investors get financial return and the Ivory Coast actually gets a much needed funding to boost its electricity infrastructure.
Indeed, and it's also an example of a sustainable investment where financial returns are aligned with broader social and environmental goals.
So I'm actually sure that our viewers are actually eager to learn more about these practical aspects of investing in terms of these social bonds.
Of course, and investing in social bonds can be a unique opportunity, but like any investment, it is important to understand the details.
Exactly. So here are some key points, just in case you are interested and you are planning to invest for this opportunity. It's also essential to research in terms of the bond offering. The maturity and interest rates can signify impact on your investment.
Absolutely, and investors should consider their investment horizon. These bonds have maturities ranging from 7 to 15 years.
7 to 15 years.
Yes, so it's important to align your investment goals with the bonds time frame.
Exactly, and diversification, as usual, is another important aspect of investing. While the Electricity All Fund commendable initiative. It's also crucial for investors to have a diverse portfolio.
And Gloria, I would like to add that investors should, and they really should assess their risk tolerance. While social bonds often carry lower risks compared to other investments, it still remains very important to be aware of the potential risks involved.
That's a great point, Victor. Investors should actually make more informed decisions and not just dive straight up into it.
Indeed. And finally, we encourage our viewers to consider the impact of their investment. It's not just about the returns, it's also about contributing to a positive change, just like we're seeing in Ivory Coast.
Precisely, Victor. The Electricity for All Fund offers investors a chance to make a difference.
Indeed.
Exactly. Thank you for joining us today as we wrap up our program today. You've been watching Financial Markets with me, Nampija Gloria, together with
Victor Chigeri.
Stay tuned in for more programs on Smart24. Thank you. We missed the thief, but time.